to Fox Valley in Focus. I'm Barb Nadeau, and we have a lot of variety in today's show. We're going to start out with Christy Pettigene and Jessica Watkins here from the North Aurora Mothers Club. In our second segment, we're going to have Wayne Dial. He's a senior services deputy for Kendall County Sheriff's Office talking about senior issues. And then to finish up our show today, we have Kathy Braden. She's the manager of Caring Hands Thrift Shop in Yorkville. She's going to talk about a very special event, a Disaster Awareness Day. Stay with us. It's going to be a great show.
Now, come on. Come on. All right. I know. 2 seconds. Hang on. Just stand still. Stand still, love. One second. I know. Just hang on. Okay, good. Okay, go, go, go. No. Boys, hang on. Boys.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
There's nothing better than an old-fashioned hometown parade, and Christy Pettigene and Jessica Watkins are here to tell us about their event coming up in North Aurora. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us, Barb.
It's great to have both of you here to talk about this. And before the show, we were talking a little bit about how it started out just kids getting together and marching through town. Now you're 7 years in the North Aurora Mother's Day, or Mother's Club Parade. Sorry about that. It's a really unique event, and we want to hear more about it.
As you said, it started off many years ago in conjunction with the North Aurora Baseball Association. We had the boys and girls march through the village and end with a big pizza party. 7 years ago, our members decided we wanted to incorporate the entire community. So it became the North Aurora Community Parade. Each year we've picked a theme. This year our theme is Cheers for volunteers.
Awesome theme. I absolutely love it. And you do need a lot of volunteers, don't you? Christy, how many different groups come together to make this parade happen?
We have tons of different groups. We have Boy Scouts, we have Girl Scouts, of course we have the North Aurora Baseball Association, as well as the Fox Valley Freedom. We have tons of different types of entertainment, local sponsors and businesses that are a part of it, such as Moves Dance Studio, Messenger Public Library. Some of our entertainment this year are the Kane County Mounted Rangers, which are the horses that everybody loves seeing horses in a parade. We have the Flat 43 BMX bikers this year. So I believe it's 4 different bikers that'll be doing a bunch of different bicycle stunts, which I'm sure the kids are going to absolutely love. And new this year too, we have those funny little people. They're going to be part of the parade. So it should be a good turnout this year.
It is going to be a lot of fun.
Activities. It will be a lot of fun.
And vendors, we hadn't really talked about that. You actually have people that set up, like booths along the way too. So
upon the conclusion of the parade, we end at North Aurora Island Park, and in conjunction with NORDA, the North Aurora River District Alliance, we have a party in the park. So there are vendors there. There are food vendors, there are bounce houses, there's a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids, and it's all free. So it's a big community celebration.
Absolutely. This is wonderful. When is your parade?
The parade will be held not this Sunday, Sunday, June the 5th, starting at 3 p.m.
Okay, and so Sunday, June the 5th, 3 p.m., and that'll be a nice Sunday evening. It just will run into the rest of the evening and a wonderful event.
It concludes at about 6:30.
That's perfect. And so if we're not from North Aurora, this is a great time to investigate and see North Aurora at its best.
Oh, absolutely.
Where do we want to park our blanket or our lawn chairs? What's the route?
The route begins at Blessed Sacrament Church, which is 801 Oak Street. The parade route heads, let me check my notes here, east on Oak Street, south on Adams Street, and again east on State Street, and concluding at the North Aurora Island Park.
Okay, now if people wanted to see this and map it, is that available on the web? Do you have a website that shows that, or?
I believe we have a map on the website. Also, we have shuttle buses. So you're able to park your car in certain areas, and we will have a shuttle bus take you to the parade route and take you from the end of the parade back to your vehicle. So that map is also available online.
That's fantastic. You must get a lot of people. If you're having shuttle buses, do you have any idea, Christy, how many people come?
We actually have never taken a survey of how many people actually do come, but there are quite a few people that are lined up along the parade route and quite a few heads at the conclusion at Island Park. So we do have a very good turnout. And it's nice to see all
growing
the
every year.
Yeah, it's nice to see all the smiling faces and all the cheers that the parade gets. And of course, you know, it's always rewarding for me to hear, "Oh, Mother's Club, we love what you do. Thank you so much for throwing this wonderful parade." So it's rewarding.
Absolutely. And you know, I love the fact that it's Cheers for Volunteers, because I don't think that kids necessarily realize how much they're learning, but they are, through all these programs, learning so much, and you couldn't have done it without these volunteers.
It
So
is
this
all
is fantastic.
volunteers. I mean, everybody who's doing this is volunteering their time to make it a successful event.
Before we run out of time, though, I want to interrupt. Sorry. You had told me before the show that you have some very special things, a commitment to community award and also a scholarship program. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, each year the North Aurora Mothers Club chooses a North Aurora resident to be our Commitment to Community Service Award winner. This person is someone who demonstrates a generosity within the community, and it's voted on by the club members. This year it's Dr. Hamad Aziz for his contributions to North Aurora. We also have our King and Queen, which are our scholarship award recipients. They each receive $1,000. This year our king is Zach Baker and our queen is Kelly Townsend.
Now, these are high school seniors?
These are high school seniors, and Christy, you know what high school they attend.
Yes. Zach attends Aurora Christian Catholic, and Kelly attended Aurora West.
Now, what did they have to do to earn that honor?
They have to bring in transcripts, so they have to have at least a B average to even be considered. So they have their transcripts, they have to have several letters of recommendation, and they also have to write an essay. And I believe the subject has to do with why they want to volunteer, or they volunteer.
Volunteerism and philanthropy within their own lives.
So that really ties into your mission
Absolutely.
as a North Aurora Mothers Club and the volunteerism that you do and your commitment to the community. You two ladies have both been involved in the club for the entire time that this parade has been going on.
Yes.
This form of the parade, yes.
Yes.
It's fantastic. And it's just really inspiring to see the dedication that you have to your community.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate you coming and being here. Before we run out of time, where can we find this website? And are you on Facebook?
The North Aurora Mothers Club does have a Facebook page. The Community Parade also has a Facebook page. You could find out more information on www.namothersclub.org.
Okay, fantastic. And so just to recap, it's going to be Sunday, June 5th, starts at 3 o'clock, and you want to get on and find out where those shuttle buses will be parking and picking you up and taking you over to the parade route. I think it's going to be worth your while. It's going to be a wonderful event. And of course, as you said, you've got so much community support, so it's a good way to say thank you to all of the first responders and all the people in your community who are making your community the wonderful place it is. So, Jessica, Christy, thank you so much for being here on our show. And I can't wait till you come back again. I love having you coming. And we're going to have you come back again in a few months and tell us what your club is up to next, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you for
All right.
having us. We appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Our next guest is Wayne Dial. He is a senior services deputy with the Kendall County Sheriff's Office, and so he has access to a lot of people in the community, and a lot of people want to have access to him. Wayne, you were telling me that this is a brand new position with the Sheriff's Office, and I want to ask you about that, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, as of January 1st, I became the senior services deputy. It's a full-time role. This is something that Sheriff Baird came up with the idea for me to do this, and he approached me and asked me if I'd be willing, and I said yes, I would, and it's been very exciting and challenging so far.
And why was it needed?
What Sheriff wanted to do was he wanted to form a partnership with other senior organizations in dedicating a full-time deputy to help seniors with many different issues, but mainly to educate them and try to make them not become victims of crimes.
And I think it's interesting that we serve the communities of Sandwich, Plano, Yorkville, and North Aurora in our cable consortium. You're with the Sheriff's Office,
Yes.
though, and none of these police agencies in Kendall County have a senior resources officer. So are they able to are you able to work in conjunction with them? And of course, there's a lot of rural areas as well, so you do get in and out of all of these communities, don't you?
Yes, of course the county is 18 by 18, and I think some of us forget that the big portion of Joliet is now in our county, but Lisbon and Newark, Millbrook and Millington, Yorkville, Bristol, a big portion of Oswego. So yes, these are big portions of our county, so I am spreading myself throughout the county and trying to meet as many people, introduce myself to as many people, and let them know that the seniors now have somebody that they can go to, directly go to me if they need be.
The whole policing, you know, how you handle policing, it's getting so complex.
Yes.
But seniors have their own issues that are particular to them.
Unfortunately, there are people out there that want to victimize our seniors. A lot of different reasons, you know, we're still kind of trying to figure out the different reasons why they're doing it. Other than our seniors have been around for a while, some are a little bit more trusting, some are maybe lonely or just want somebody to talk to, and then you get somebody on the phone with them who is trying to scam them out of money. Financial crimes is probably one of the big things I see with most of the seniors, and people are scamming them from either from other countries or from right here in the United States.
Do you also get a chance to work with families who maybe don't even realize that there's more that they could be doing for their senior members of their family, for grandma and grandpa or great grandma and grandpa, you know, mom and dad, that they're just not, they don't even realize there's resources out there, or maybe there's red flags, so to speak, popping up, concerns that they don't even realize?
Yes, actually that's one of the things that I've actually been trying to reach out through different organizations, because seniors don't always come to some of these meetings, but through different organizations throughout the county, I'm able to reach the children or the parents that have their grandparents or parents' parents, stuff like that. And if I can let them know that I'm available and let them know of the different targeting scams, some of them didn't even realize it. I know there's been a few times somebody will ask me about different scams, or they'll bring information to me. Mm-hmm. So it's been an exchange of information, and I'm just trying to get the word out to reach as many seniors as possible. But lots of times it is reaching them through their children or their grandchildren.
So you had mentioned organizations that you work with, and maybe you can tell me, you had mentioned Senior Services, Triad, Senior Providers, the Attorney General's Office,
yes.
Department on Aging. What are all those different groups, and why are they important?
Well, Kendall County Triad is one of our main ones. Kendall County Triad is a formalization between law enforcement, businesses of the community, and also volunteers. And we do a lot of different things throughout the year. Basically, getting the word out to seniors, talking to seniors. Of course, Senior Services, that's a state-run organization. I will work with them a lot, and that'd be a lot to say I have a senior that could use a little extra help, but maybe it's come in through the police department. Now I can use that as a resource. The Oswego Senior Center, located in Oswego, where Oswego and the Boulder Hill area, there's a lot of people. That's a very large portion of our population that lives in the county. So these are all organizations that I'm working with, and I can reach more seniors this way.
Okay, and then there's also information coming to you to help you from the Department of Aging or the Attorney General's office, and...
Yeah, and actually the Federal Trade Commission, I am on their a weekly newsletter, and actually it's more than that. I thought it was only going to be weekly, but I get emails from the Federal Trade Commission probably 2 or 3 times a day. One is the Federal Trade Commission can prosecute federally. scammers that are trying to victimization of seniors. And also they're giving me ideas, pamphlets I can hand out to. The Attorney General's office, I've been to a training through the Attorney General's office. So now I also have them as a resource. And the Department of Aging, which oversees some of our state-run organizations. Great partnerships, a lot of people out there to help the seniors, and they're out there.
Okay, and you've talked a lot about scams already,
Yes.
and I wanted to ask you about one in particular that seems to be really insidious, and that's the grandparent scam. Can you
Yeah,
explain
I
that?
can, and I'll try to walk you through some of the steps. What will happen, and I'm actually in the process of investigating and closing out 2 scams as we speak, actually. What will happen is they'll receive a phone call, and usually it's very staticky. And they'll say, Grandma, it's your grandson. And she'll say, who? And then sometimes they even actually know this grandson's name. They'll say, this is Paul. We'll just use that for a name. This is Paul. Okay, Paul, it doesn't sound like you. Well, I've been in an accident, or I've been in a crash, or something bad has happened. I need money to get me out of trouble. And please do not tell my parents, I'm too embarrassed. And they'll say, okay, well, are you sure? And then sometimes that phone call will end and somebody else will pick up the phone, and that will be somebody say, we represent the consulate and you need to wire money. And what they'll do is they'll be demanding with the grandparents. And what they want them to do is they want to go to an organization that can wire money, and they'll have them wire this money. Once the money is wired, then the grandparents will come back home and they'll get another phone call. Well, now I need this more money. So, and sometimes there's been grandparents that just keep going back and wiring this money, and they'll just keep doing it until somebody catches on. It's awful, and then usually what happens is the grandparents will maybe finally call somebody and find out the grandson was never in trouble, or not in prison, or not in jail. So unfortunately, I'm getting it at the end, but it is a scams out there, and they're very tricky. They know sometimes the grandkids' names.
But it's a stressful thing. What's Grandma to do when she gets that phone call? What kind of advice do you give people to prevent that?
Well, for one thing, it's the high pressure pitch. What I would do is I would try to get the phone number, hang up, call another relative, call the parents, and if there's none around, try to get a hold of the grandkid themselves. They all have cell phones now, and just try to research or just call us. Hey, listen, I think somebody's claiming to be my grandson, and he's in jail or in trouble. So I can do some research on it. We can figure it out. Hey, this is not real. But usually just have the grandparents reach out. Answering machines are great. Caller IDs are great. Let them hit the answering machine, because sometimes if they don't answer right away, it's not them.
Or can they call you?
They can call me.
They can call
Yes.
you at the sheriff's office,
Yes, they may.
and they can just say, this is my concern, this is what I'm worried about, and somebody can maybe talk them off of that stress level.
Absolutely. Or come out and see them. Whatever they would want, I'm there as much as I possibly can be. Or if they can't reach me, they can reach anybody at the sheriff's office. A deputy can respond to them. So if I'm not available.
Okay. The other one is a computer scam. And they're trying to get into people's computers, or...
Yeah, this is it's unique. This can actually attack to anybody, not just the elderly. But it's kind of ransomware, where they were going to try to hold your computer ransom and say, no, you got to pay us money, or if you'll let us get on your computer. And once they get on your computer, then they can get into any of your banking, your files, your emails, and hack in there. So another one to be really careful of. A lot of those emails look real. What I suggest, don't click on them. So, and find somebody there's always somebody in the family, or somebody that's very good with computers.
Wayne, it is so great to have you here on our show. It really is. I'm so glad that you are here with us. And again, how can we access you? Where can we find you by phone or email?
Well, email, or you can just write to the sheriff's office itself, the Kendall County Sheriff's Office. We have a website. We also have a Facebook page. I can be reached through any of those. You can call into our investigation division and ask, I'd like to speak to the Senior Services Deputy Wayne Dial.
Thank you. Fantastic. Wayne Dial, Senior Services Deputy for Kendall County Sheriff's Office. More coming up right after this.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. Our final guest today is Kathy Braden. She's the manager of Caring Hands Thrift Shop. It's located in Yorkville at the corner of 126 and 47. And Kathy, it's so good to have you here because you have a very special event coming up at the end of June.
We do, and thank you for inviting me here. We're going to have our second Disaster Awareness Day on June 25th, and it's going to be at the Caring Hands parking lot from 10 to 1 on a Saturday.
Now this is really interesting to me because I'm sure a lot of people have not been to Caring Hands Thrift Shop, and it's a wonderful thrift shop, resale store right there, and you do have a great parking lot, a great area to have an event. You've got a lot of outdoor space as well. But tell me, how did this get started, having a Disaster Awareness Day?
Well, our church is part of the Lutheran Early Response Team, and we do a lot of disaster assistance, whether people have a tornado come through, and our team is a chainsaw team, so we go through and cut down trees and pick up debris and stuff. But we also do mucking out and flood cleanup. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to have some information available for people so they can be prepared for disasters when they strike at their home.
Well, I see that you're wearing your orange vest, you know, but I can't imagine you with a chainsaw taking down trees and mucking out, as you say, flood debris. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is quite stylish outfit.
Well, but you were telling me before we went on that you can identify all of you because you've got the same emblem on
Yes.
your vest. And
Yes. When we went to Washington, Illinois after the tornado hit 2 years ago, it was easy to spot all our team out on a job site because we've all got the same vest and it says Lutheran Early Response on the back. So it's easy to tell who's who on the site.
And then you also have your name tag. You're certified as a responder.
Right. This is a Community Early Response Team, a CERT, but we're all certified so we can get into a disaster site right away once it's been cleared for the responders to come in. We're not first responders, but we're early responders, so we can get in right away to assist people that are having an emergency.
I think that's interesting, and I think that whenever there's a disaster, people want to respond in a hurry, and they don't realize that you can't even get in to help unless you're someone like yourself who's gone through the training, who's learned how to properly behave in a disaster site and knows that you're going to be put to work and where. And that just makes you one more wonderful asset in our community. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. It is important to be credentialed because a lot of times when people want to come to a disaster site and they get there and there's police blocking it, so not everybody can wander in because a lot of times it isn't safe. There's debris in the road, there's emergency vehicles that still need to get there. So because we are credentialed, we can go in right away and we can be part of the assistance, not a hindrance to what's going on.
So this day, this Disaster Awareness Day that you're having at the end of June, Saturday, June 26th, you're actually using this as an educational event to help people who obviously haven't gone through this training and had these experiences that you have had and that your group has had. So what can we expect to see on June 26th?
Well, we'll have some emergency vehicles there. We should have a fire truck because everybody loves to get up close and look at the fire trucks. But we'll also have our disaster response trailer there that'll be filled with the items that we use during a disaster. And we'll have individual stations set up so they can go see, you know, what it's like to, we're not going to have them operate a chainsaw, but we'll have someone that's trained running a chainsaw, how to operate those kind of things. They'll be wearing their protective equipment like their chaps and their helmet and their vest to protect them. And then we'll also have a station set up for mucking out a basement where if kids want to put on the boots, they can go in this vat of muck and, you know, load it up in a bucket and carry it and see what it's like to work in a flooded basement and clean out the muck that's left after a flood.
I think that's the best part yet. Let's teach these young people how to do some cleanup, right? That is really cool. So it's something that is going to appeal to all ages, but you definitely are encouraging young people to get involved, little kids to get involved, and their parents too.
Yeah, we'll have like free FEMA coloring books for the kids to take home and some other activities for the kids to do related to disasters. And it's just going to be a fun day for everybody. There should be comfort or therapy dogs there also, so you'll get a chance to see the dogs in action.
Okay, and then also learn, if you're interested in that, to learn a little bit more about what it takes to have a dog that is a comfort dog. And so you've got a lot of partner agencies that are coming in to help.
Right. We've got some information from Red Cross there, and then the alert information, and Lutheran Church Charities, which is the founder of this organization. And we'll have information on joining a CERT team in the community, and then the fire department and the local police emergency departments will be there.
Oh, you should be pretty proud of this. This is your second annual.
It is, and well, there's also, I forgot an important part, free food. So we'll be serving walking tacos to everybody that comes and drinks.
And this is this an expense to the shop? How are you putting this all together?
We're very blessed to partner with Thrivent Financial Services, and they've given us a small grant to help fund it and to cover the food cost.
It's fantastic, really is. And will the thrift shop be open as well during this?
It will be. It will be. So it's a good opportunity to come to the event, gather information about how to prepare your family for a disaster, you know, how much water you need to have, how much food you should have, and then get some lunch, and then shop at the shop.
But I also think it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, a lot of people hear the message, you know, get ready for an emergency, come up with a kit. None of that sounds fun. Your event really sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. It will be. It was well attended last year, so we're hoping for a bigger crowd again, and it should be a lot of fun.
Okay, and then tell me a little bit about the shop. The shop itself is a nonprofit or not-for-profit. It's actually got a mission of its own.
Right. It's a ministry of Cross Lutheran Church, and this will be our 10th year in business. And we do sell things, but we're able to give a lot of things away to people that have needs after a fire or a flood, or that are just struggling financially. So that's a big part of our mission, to provide for the needs in the community.
It's interesting too, because you've been with the thrift shop is well over 10 years now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a lot of families in need, and you've dealt with a lot of disasters. And did that prompt you to become certified to respond? Did it kind of grow into a mission in your own heart and your own mind?
Yeah, the thrift shop has its mission to, you know, be of assistance to people. I've been doing disaster work for maybe 20 years at different tornado cleanup things. So it's always been a passion of mine to just help people, because when you're going through your darkest hour, when your house has been destroyed, it's so helpful to have somebody come alongside you and just walk you through the steps and know that somebody cares about you.
And it's wonderful to see what you're doing. And again, we want to remind you all that Disaster Awareness Day is Saturday, June 26th. So it's a great time to discover all of these wonderful organizations working together in our community. And of course, we never know when disaster is going to strike, but we can be ready. And I want to thank you, Kathy, for being here to tell us about that. And I wish you all the best. I hope it's going to be a wonderful day.
Thank you. It should be a fun day, so I hope a lot of people can come out and take advantage of it.
And that's going to do it for our show today. I'm Barb Nadeau for Fox Valley Television. We'll see you next time.